Well, hello there, friends. On this lovely Friday the 13th, October the 13th, 2017, it is quite late at night. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me for the lack of any regular videos, non-streaming, because I know not everybody necessarily wants to watch a stream. Why did I not record any? Not because I didn't want to. Maybe a part of it just sort of felt like I didn't have anything to say, but I swear to God, I don't have any explanation for it, folks. Every time I'd sit down and try to record something and get really, really weirdly depressed. I don't know why. Maybe it's just you think about everything and it doesn't feel like it's enough, and maybe you wish you'd something else. It just, I don't know that I'd get really weirdly super depressed for no apparent reason. So by the time you'd set up the camera and hit record, you just nothing that great to say. It doesn't feel like it's enough. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing in that you realize that whatever it is that you're ultimately after, that it's much higher than, oh, I just want to lose 10 pounds. There you go. And there's somebody's completely satisfied by that. Whatever it is that you want to do, it's a bit more. And everything is just a small piece of that little bit, right? Which I guess, for what it's worth, I should pat myself on the back for where I'm at now. I believe it is day 28 of NOFAP and day 21 of a low-carb diet and no alcohol. That's correct, folks. Basically, a month of NOFAP and 3 weeks. No, just eating my steak, eggs, and I've settled on Brussels sprouts as my veggie source for fiber, some vitamin C, some of the other stuff. So, is it making a difference? I don't know. Do I feel better? Hard to say. When you're sort of depressed, it's like maybe the alcohol and all the junk food, whatever, was giving you a false sort of release of serotonin and keeping you afloat. Whereas now that you don't have it, you can't quite tell. Oh, you've maybe gone through some of the withdrawal of not drinking anymore, some of the food. It's kind of hard to say whether I really feel better. Has it made any difference in terms of body composition? I don't know. But of course, it's one of those things where you look at yourself every day, so you're just seeing that very incremental, day-by-day progression. So it's not like you don't look at yourself. So like you only look at yourself once a month, so you can see, oh shit, it's a big change. So it's hard to say, but for what it's worth, folks, I measured myself this morning, or weighed myself. Oh, measured yourself. Oh, let me guess. Did you grow half an inch? So I weighed myself, and I was 248. So 248. I mean, I can't completely go on the scale, but I want to say some of the clothes has been fitting looser. The belt that I use, I am on the smallest notch now, and it's getting to be, it still fits good, but I can feel that it will probably pretty soon start to feel loose. So what was I at about 264 when I started 3 weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, I figure it probably won't be for another couple of months that I'll really start noticing big changes. It's just going to be, you still have a big gut, big old titties. So I just have to remind myself, give it time. Give it time. I didn't get fat overnight, and I'm not going to get in shape overnight. It's just one of those where, it's been some time, and like I said, you look in the mirror, and it's like, God damn, I can't tell if this is working or not, honestly. But it's usually one of those things you got to give it 2 or 3 months before you can see if it's making any difference. So, for what it's worth, folks, 264 to 248 in 3 weeks. And now that I've started to lift again, hopefully that'll contribute to better weight loss and stuff like that. I worked out, followed my routine this entire week. And along with the elbow rehab exercises, it's getting better and better. I sort of did my walk against the wall and press into it like this and see if I feel anything. I definitely felt still a little, but nowhere near as much as it used to be, so it is slowly on the mend. What is my exercise routine? For now, still haven't signed up to a gym. I might wait until the new year to sign up to a gym. I know it's you'll be in with the crowd, but then again, hey, maybe in with the crowd you'll see some more honeys, but I still believe that I can do quite a lot with what I have, so I don't, so basically Monday I do overhead pressing with dumbbells, then I've just been hanging from a pull-up bar. I'm not ready to start working on negatives yet. I still want to give my elbow a little more time, just hanging from the pull-up bar as long as I can, just to sort of build grip strength and whatever I can. Then some back bridges, then working on my elbow stuff. Then Tuesday, work on, just been doing body weight squats, but probably in a week or two I'll start trying to work on progressions for one-legged squats. Wednesday, of course, folks, you know me. What am I known for the most? Lots of things, but dips and chili, even though I'm not eating chili right now. Maybe in the new year. I'm working on dips and bicep curls. Just standing bicep curls. I figured it'd sort of be, the exercises where you stand is probably better than the ones where you sit down and stuff like that. And then the elbow rehab stuff. So, my strength on the overhead pressing has dropped a little because I didn't do it for like several weeks. For dips, it has actually gotten a little bit better, but that's probably because of the weight loss. And if you're doing calisthenics, obviously being thinner, it will help. It's less mass to have to move. So I was using my lightest resistance band, and I was able to do sets of 5 reps. To my surprise, I had figured, damn, I have probably lost a bunch of strength on this, but hey, I guess due to the dynamic of the exercise, it worked out. So I figure, probably 2 or 3 more weeks and I should be doing them unassisted. And so that will be a nice feeling, folks, to do some sort of standard calisthenic thing without, I'm finally strong enough to finally do it without, on your knees, on your this, the negative that. Of course, once my elbows are better, I'm going to start working on pull-up negatives and stuff like that. And boy, it would be nice to finally, for the first time in my life, more or less, do pull-ups without any help. And then Thursday, same thing with the squats. And then Friday, once again, another day of overhead pressing and hanging from the pull-up bar. So that's my routine. And I'm going to stick to it for now. Hitting the upper body, hitting the lower body, still working on the elbow rehab exercises. So everything is going quite well with that. So not really. I think the cravings, the random little cravings here and there for the alcohol and the food, you know, like I've talked about before, which is worse? Do I want the carbs more or the alcohol? I gotta say probably the alcohol, but it's gotten, at 3 weeks now, it's gotten way, way easier. I mean, still a little bit here and there, but it's no longer, you're able to, oh, we brought this, we brought pizza, we did this, you know, you're not like dwelling on it anymore. You can, it goes in your head and you're able to kick it out pretty easily. So, and the other great thing too, at this point, now that you've gotten a little bit of time in it, it's pretty easy to just kind of stick to it, not think about it too much, and just make further and further progress, where it's not this like, oh, it's day 2, oh, it's only day 2, or it's only day 4, you know, and you're constantly like thinking about it day to day. Now that there's been some time for everything, it's a bit mentally easier to just kind of, I guess the habit is established, so you're not daily constantly thinking about it. NOFAP going strong. And I don't edge or any of that other stuff. I will admit I have watched porn almost every day, ironically. Pretty interesting, right? You're how I can watch porn but yet able to control myself enough where I'm not tempted to do that act. It's not even so much the sex, I guess it's just, maybe it's just the loneliness, folks, right? But I realize I have to give that up too. So this is, in a way, I don't really know what I'll call this video, but in a way, now that some of these things are getting more established, I'm getting back into my routine of working out. I definitely have to give up some other things. I'm going to give up watching the porn. I think that's there's no point. It's fucking degenerate. So if there's anything else, I don't know. I think I'm gonna really minimize my consumption of music and podcasts and things like that. I'm at that point again where you feel like you're always listening to something. You've always got your headphones in, you're always listening to something. And when the song ends or this ends, you're like, oh, I need immediately more noise in my ears. And I remember last night, tossing, turning, oh, let me turn this on, let me turn that, oh, let me listen to some ASMR or something. I was just like, why do I have some bitch whispering in my ear? No offense intended. I was lovingly using that word. I need this I don't need any whispering in my ear. So I just turned everything off and I was laying there just listening to the outside ambience and stuff like that. And you're almost overcome with this sort of sweet death-like silence. Just, it's a weird feeling because you're not used to having to sit with that silence. But on one hand, there was something very nice about it. So, oh, good. Now I don't have to look at that. Oh, come on. I think I lost some weight. It's not that big of a face. I think it's quite handsome. And if anything, folks, if we do have something called an inner voice, if such a thing exists, you're not really going to be able to listen to it if you've always got headphones in your ears or earbuds, whatever, constantly having noise coming into your head. So but it all still just feels like a drop in the bucket. I have to be grateful for what I have and proud of myself for what I have done so far. And it always starts small, but it still doesn't feel like it's enough. It all still just feels like little drops in the bucket that are very meaningless ultimately, where it's still not that thing that's like, oh man, I am finally getting what my soul has craved. So I guess that's where I am with that, about women-wise. There's nothing, I'm afraid. I did do the whole thing where after work I started to drive around for a couple of hours, just trying to find stores and stuff like that. But of course, you go in, and you see a girl, and you don't do anything, and it just feels like that was a complete waste of time. And then you're thinking about it after and all that shit. There was this one lady that I talked to earlier in the week. She had a wedding ring on, so I was going in as I know I'm not going to get a date out of this or anything, but just mostly to talk. And what does my heart tell me still? I've already talked about it. There's no point, and it's the whole, I guess I could force myself every day to go out and approach women, but yeah, I don't, whatever. I've already talked about all that, so it was one of those days today too. If you've ever had this, it's thankfully not too bad at work, but you walk in, you help a couple people, you go check on a couple of things. It's pretty quiet, so you're like, hey, just gonna run in the back for a cup of coffee real quick from the kitchen. You come back out, you're like, you check the desk, you check your watch, and 9 minutes have gone by, and it's like, oh boy, this is gonna be a long one. So, as for anything else, maybe I had that feeling today after working out, just doing my elbow exercises at home, where gotta be careful of judging yourself by certain standards, which are sort of very questionable how much they exist, if they're just memes at this point or what. Basically what I mean by that, if I may use some internet slang, you will never be a normie. You are never going to be a freaking normie. So you want to be very careful if I hate my life, blah, blah, I got to get it together. How you start trying to, some individual things may be good, but some of these ideas, I think, it's not really going to happen. And is that really what you want to? What is the standard thing? What would be the standard normie advice? Just lift, bro. Nothing wrong with that. Just lift, bro. Get a real job. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. And get some hobbies and then make a social circle out of those hobbies. And there you go. Everything's going to be solved in your life. Now with this new social circle, you can do the things that normal adjusted people in society do, right? You can go out to bars or some events. There you go. Now you can suddenly be a well-functioning member of society. I am not so sure how some of that's going to go, you know, and some of those may be great things, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's probably not really explaining it that well as it is. It's, what do you mean? All those sound like good things. What do you mean, you know? Alright, folks. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got. I don't know. I guess I'll go home and stream. Gotta make some food first. Alright, folks. Afraid I must work this weekend, so if you're off this weekend, hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.